What's up, everybody? Back with another Honkai Star video. In this video, we're going to talk about one issue that I don't see a ton of people talking about. I mean, I'm sure everybody talks about every issue with Star or with something in Star, but I wanted to make this video because I noticed this when building up Kafka, and she's a bit different from other characters. It's, no surprise that certain characters want other characters to be built with them, right? A lot of people use Jingyun and Tingyun together. A lot of people use Luoch and Blade together. You could use Bronya and Seele together. Like, there's a lot of characters who want, like, their best character with them at, like, all times, right? Silverwolf is a pretty good character for this because she works well with a lot of characters. You get the gist, right? Yanqing went to Jeopard, so obviously his shield doesn't get hit. You get the gist, right? However, these characters work regardless of who's on the team. As long as he has like a basic team comp, like if you are running, let's say, Jingyun, right, and you have a second DPS, a supporter, a shielder, a healer, like the basic team build up, you're gonna be fine, right? So most of the time when people are building accounts up, they go, okay, Bailu is my like healer support, like Fire MC is my shielder, and then like I have Tingyun as support, and then you can kind of just fill in the DPS, right? You could put Seele, Jingyun, you can put Blade there if you really want to. Whatever it may be, right? In the future, like Don Hang. Yeah, the list goes on, right? Issue with Kafka is she is not that easy to just slot into previous teams. It's like right now my team is just Bailu, Jeopard, or not Jeopard, I kind of dropped him unfortunately. But like Bailu, Tingyun, Silverwolf, and I threw in Jingyun because, full Electro for Silverwolf, it's just Quantum or Electro most of the time, right? Boom, boom. Right, pretty solid team. If I were to switch that out with, let's say, like Seele, right, it would still work, right? We'd have healer, we'd have a support. Silverwolf would make the enemy weak to Quantum, or electric, whatever it may be, right? And then do all her crazy stuff, and then damage dealer. You get the point, right? I can't do the same thing with Kafka, because Kafka is based around only DOTs. So you have to build a DOT character with her. As of right now, it's Luca, Serval, and Sampo. Sampo is the best one at the moment, but a lot of people aren't going to have Sampo built, right? You're probably going to have your other characters built as your DPS, your support, your healer slash shielder, and that's the character's probably gun for. For Kafka to work to a good efficiency, you need to build up a unit that most people aren't going to have built up because they're very English is hard, really specific. Luca just came out, so you're not gonna have him built. Serval, I know a lot of people actually built up because she is free, which is nice. And then Sampo, you have to pull him. Obviously, he's on the banner. But you had to have pulled him previously, and then, of course, got him up, which most people aren't going to go for Sampo. Like, if you have, like, Seele, like Bronya, all these other characters, you're going to get them up first. So, more than likely, if you pull Kafka and you end up pulling Sampo, you already had Sampo, you're going to have to get both of them up, which is kind of expensive, not going to lie. They both take the ability stuff, so you're going to have to make sure you have a light cone for Kafka and a light cone for Sampo. Luckily, I went for Kafka's light cone, so I can give Sampo this Good Night Sleep Well one, which works very well with him. And then goes into relics, traces, because Sampo is different than most characters who just want crit damage, crit rate. As you can see, my Sampo's not even like fully built up. I'm still working on getting everything up for him because Kafka I just maxed out, right? He wants attack speed and a little bit of effect hit rate, so he actually can hit them with the debuffs. So it's not like you can just slap whatever gear you had on. Like, obviously we're at the state of the game where you're not gonna have just like gear ready. Like, Sampo wants wind, right? So, let me go to my relics real quick. This is my Sampo set. Obviously, if I just had another DPS, I probably wouldn't have this exact set for him. Like, for example, this one, the full lightning set. Crit rate, crit damage is what he wants. If another lightning DPS comes out that wants crit rate, crit damage, I'd be good to go, right? Sampo, however, since he wants attack, speed, and effect hit rate, not many characters want that, and no other wind character wants that, as it's Bronya, Donhang, and Blade. Blade scales off HP. Bronya is a support. She's not going to want to affect hit rate. She wants speed attack though. And then Donhaeg is going to want crit rate, crit damage. You see what I mean? So you're going to have to grind up. As you can see, my levels aren't even maxed because I'm still working on maxing out Sampo, right? Because I pretty much just pre-farmed everything for Kafka and then, you know, I'm working on Sampo. So you're going to have to either have it ready or grind it all from scratch. And then, of course, I feel like this is a general thing. Traces cost a lot of resources and, you know, currency to max out. But that's just like for every character. What I'm saying is Sampo and Kafka's relics are not going to be something you're just going to have on hand unless you are pre-farmed it, which makes when you get Kafka and team build for her, you're going to have to spend a lot more resources than you normally would, which is a bit unfortunate because I think Kafka is actually really, really fun and really sick. I like her playstyle a lot. Doing nihility runs is really, really cool. The fact that you can like hit her E and like all that stuff. Very, very cool character. Probably my favorite playstyle out of all of them so far that I have used. But yeah, holy crap, she's expensive. I have, I saved almost 30 fuel, and I've already used half of it to grind up. To be fair, I've also used it on a little bit, a couple other characters. But I think I needed a few more traces for her, because I've been grinding pretty much nihility nonstop since a little bit after Luocha's banner, because I was getting Yukong up to be somewhat usable. But nihility, boom, maxed her out. Now I still have to grind more nihility because I don't have enough to max out Sampo and get him to a, you know, decent level. And then relics, all the relics went into Kafka, so I wasn't able to max out Sampo. And it's just a whole lot. Like if Kafka was just a normal ass DPS, I could literally just be like, all right, her, Bailu, Ting Yun, or Yukong, and then Silverwolf. If my team isn't taking enough, or Kafka just like unloads unholy amounts of damage, I'll either put a shielder or, you know, Silverwolf or like a sub DPS. Or like, you know, whatever it may be. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Let me know in the comments if you actually had Sampo built up for Kafka, if you had like her whole team ready before she came out, and if you have any other characters built up, because I am curious if there are people out there who had the, you know, other team built up and then also had Kafka's whole team set up. The characters I consider built that I have are probably Bailu, Jeopard to a sense. He still needs a little bit of love. Jing Yun, Silverwolf, Yanqing, Ting Yun, and then kinda Yukong. She's like usable, but not in like high end game content. And then I guess like Natasha is somewhat okay, you know, she gets the job done most of the time. So I do have more than the 2 teams worth of characters built, but you know, they start coming up short once we get down to, you know, the 7th, 8th character, 9th character. So anyway, other than that, let me know in the comments if you had everything farmed out, if you also agree that it's taking a lot of resources to get Kafka's whole team up. Let me know what your team compositions are in the comments. I'm seeing a lot of people do Soulwolf, Kafka, Sampo, you know, Luocha, or healer. I've seen a lot of people just doing Kafka, Sampo, Luocha, and then something like Ting Yun or Bronya. I've seen people run Pila, Kafka, DOT of whoever, because I've seen like Sampo, Serval, Luca versions, all 3 of those. Let me know in the comments what your teams are, and if you're still summoning, best of luck.